let's speak about Neo, baby. What is happening, investors? It is your boy Jack. I am not a financial advisor, and today there's a few things I want to speak about, okay? We're going to go back in time to November 7th, 2020, when I made a video titled Warning to Neo Stock Investors, Neo Stock News, Neo Manipulation. And in this video, I was speaking about JP Morgan, and I was speaking about some very key levels that at the time seemed insane to people. I remember getting a lot of hate on this video because people thought I was just hating on Neo. Because if you bring yourself back in time to this period of time, look at all those green candles, baby. Look at us shoot from $20 a share all the way up into the mid-40s. It was incredible. This was the peak of the EV boom. This was the peak of electric vehicles going crazy. And I've always been a Neo bull. We spoke about them on this channel since, I'm not sure, I think they were $6, $7 a share, something along those lines. And if I just show you what happened, was this. And there was indeed big dumps, and it's nearly come all the way back down to that level that I pointed out that I got an awful lot of hate for back in the day. So what I want to do today is I want to speak about my general outlook on Neo as of right now, as it sits sub $30 a share. I want to speak about, do I think it's a good, decent, or bad buy as of this moment in time? Obviously, price levels that I would be looking at from a technical point of view. And I'm also going to play about a minute of this video that I made back in November 7, 2020, over a year ago, and just outline, you know, how sometimes it takes a long time for things to happen. Sometimes you're going to be waiting a year. Sometimes it could be 2 or 3 years. But you have to trust your gut. You have to trust what you are seeing. You have to trust the market trends. You have to understand what makes sense and what doesn't make sense. Aside from that, I want to speak about 2 articles. This one here, Neo, time to break free, a few points in it, and then Neo, lot to prove in 2020, because that's going to kind of tie together everything that I want to speak about in today's video. I would like to premise the video by saying I've never sold a single share of Neo, even when I thought it was overvalued. I'm still holding. I'm still very bullish long term, and I am potentially thinking about picking up some more if we do reach these levels that I am interested in with a long term outlook. So right before we get into this, my friends, before I play you this short clip, could I please ask you to hit that juicy like button? I really would appreciate it. It really does help me out an awful lot. Drop me a comment down below. Let me know what you're doing with your Neo and what you've done with your Neo over the last while, because I know it's been a pretty interesting time, to say the absolute least, over the last year. And please, my friend, if you are indeed new around here, hit that juicy red subscribe button, baby. Join the family. Guys, here's the thing, okay? JP Morgan would have been making buy orders here, way back when, before they upgraded their price targets. So they've already made a whole lot of money, no doubt about it. And what they're probably doing right now is creating more short interest, maybe putting in more put options, all of which are losing money right now. Remember, I told you these companies buy in order to sell, and they sell in order to buy. They want to make money on the way up and the way down. They don't care about you or me. They make their money from you and me, from the retail investor, from the person who buys high and sells low. So, you know, on all of the things they've been buying down here and here, they've made loads and loads of money. But they've been shorting it the whole way up as well. All of those positions are in the red. And do you think they're going to close them in the red? No. That is the reason these gaps get filled, my friends. The banks have the money to move the market. And I know you probably think I have a tinfoil hat on right now, but there are so many examples of this, my friends. So, I mean, we brought up this point an awful long time ago. Looking at the graph that's on the video right now, you'll see I have this big blue arrow. This is when JPM, I believe, upped their price targets when only a month or 2 prior they had some quite bad things to say about Neo, and they created this huge gap. I mean, they've been creating buy orders the whole way back for an awful long time. And then ultimately that is what they did. They shorted it and they made a lot of money on the way down. They still want it to come down a little bit lower. They still definitely have some positions in the red right now, and they will be willing to move Neo down. And it's not just JP Morgan. I use them as an example because they've had a lot of cases brought up against them in the past in regards to spoofing, market manipulation, etc, etc. So keep an eye out for here. But I want to speak about, like, why do we care? Because we want to buy Neo. We care about how low we think it could go down in price because we like the company, okay? We like the fundamentals, we like the growth, and we have our technicals drawn out in front of us. We don't want to see them go down because we don't want them to do well. We want to see them go down so that we can buy more shares with a long-term outlook. I know some people might say, timing the market, not timing the market, blah, blah, blah. We've seen growth get destroyed and boom at certain times. It almost always plays out the way that it typically should. So just keep that warning in mind. I know I sent crazy back here. I was the only person on YouTube not pumping absolutely everything out of Neo pretty much. And yeah, it ended up, it took a while. It went up a lot higher. People thought I was an idiot, and fair enough. Maybe I was for not selling at the absolute top, but ultimately we were right. Not that I'm a genius or anything, because we probably could have seen similar patterns in the large majority of EV stocks, let's be honest. I want to start off with this article here, NIO, time to break free, okay? So they sit at a multi-month low despite strong operational performances, and they do, but it's also important to remember, okay, literally go to a 5-year chart, up 202%. More so, just go back to March 2020. They're still up nearly 1,000%. I mean, back here is when I started making videos on them, and from there, even they're still up 390%. They were up nearly 1,000%. So the last year's been terrible. The last, 6 months, everything's been terrible. In the grand scheme, they grew too quickly, and we often see this with growth stocks. That's why a lot of people get burned. But keep in mind, the majority of people buying NIO, I would like to think we're buying in the $20 to $30 range, not in the 50s and 60s. I don't think there was as many people buying up there as there has been as of late. The CCP is loosening its grip, and NIO is in the midst of international expansion. There's been a lot of news on this as of late. And 2022 will be a year full of challenges and risks, but the author still thinks NIO will thrive. Now, what are the risks exactly? I think that is an extraordinarily important question to ask yourself every single time you're looking into any stock. If we go over here, in Q4 they set delivery record, but December was sluggish, and that's not something we should ignore. We shouldn't just say, alright, awesome, Q4 there was delivery records. We have to acknowledge the fact that December was sluggish and ask ourselves why. So the expectations are coming down as the ET7 is still ramping, and the Chinese EV subsidies to end in 2023. Now, I believe there's some debate here. I can't figure out exactly what's happening. Maybe I'm just really bad at finding things out, but I don't think this is necessarily true. There's conflicting information out there. If anybody knows for sure and can link any articles in the comment section, please do, because I have found conflicting information, so I'm just going to leave it at that. But essentially, NIO did set a new record for quarterly deliveries, with overall figures were hurt by a production shutdown early in the period, with the December sales numbers not being that impressive and competition only continuing to increase. The company has a lot to prove this year. I think this is going to make investors particularly anxious, excited, nervous, whatever way you want to phrase it, for the next quarter. See what happens in the next quarter, because keep in mind, if you go back and look through all of NIO's recent quarters, last probably 4, maybe 5 at this stage, the growth's been going and going and going, and that fills people with confidence. As soon as people see it slow down, especially with the stocks price having come down over 50% from those highs in less than a year, that confidence starts to fade away, my friends, and very quickly. We've seen it many times. Now, it may be a short-term fade. That confidence may come back very quickly as soon as there is one good piece of news, as soon as there's another really good quarter. This is already traditionally a volatile stock though, so anything could happen. But then when it comes to NIO, there is this headline: when fundamentals don't meet technicals. The company entered 2021 with a great rally that took shares from under $15 a share in September to over $60 by January, and only 6 months before this, they were in the $2 range, okay? The rest of 2021 saw continued sliding share price, with NIO shares now hovering around $30 after being up in the mid to high 60s. The company's made some great deals with large energy companies, China's Sinpak and Royal Dutch Shell, okay? That was done to accelerate the rollout of NIO's charging stations and battery swap stations, one of the biggest, most important things about NIO in my opinion, of which it plans to have 4,000 of by 2025. NIO has expanded its operations in Norway, will continue to do so for the rest of this year. Again, all you have to do is go to NIO's investor page, and there is still quite a bit, not as much as some other companies, but quite a bit of news continually coming out. There's been some bad months, but overall deliveries have grown to the tune of 109% in 2021. And again, guys, if you just look at the macro in regards to NIO as opposed to the micro, you will see that the growth has been absolutely fantastic. And yes, certainly some of NIO's growth has been warranted. I mean, it definitely doesn't deserve to be a $2 or $3 stock at this stage, but the valuation is still right up there. Now, the author here continues to go on. Is it this one? There's an awful lot of them. Yeah, here it compares some of the valuations to China. NIO has price to sales of 8.78, EV to sales of 7.65, and price to book of 12.3. It compares it to Tesla, okay? That does not mean that these valuations are good by any means whatsoever, because I think everybody knows Tesla's valuations are terrible. I mean, I hold Tesla. I love Tesla. It's one of my best performing companies altogether, but their valuations are terrible no matter what way you try to spin it. That is a part of what comes with growth, but NIO is no different. The valuations are up there, to say the absolute least. You guys might be wondering, well, why am I even considering buying? Why didn't I sell all my shares? Why do I want to buy more? Look at the growth. Look at the 1 year growth. It's been insane. Look at how popular these vehicles are getting in China. Look at the sales numbers. I mean, People can't wait to get their hands on these vehicles. Their technology is fantastic. The government is behind them. As best as I can see, again, there is some conflicting information out there, but the majority of it seems to show that the government is still standing with NIO. And anybody who's followed this company in the past will know that they very, very much so did in the past. They've helped NIO out an awful lot. Not for free, not for fun, but they have helped them out. They may not be here without the Chinese government at this stage. And that's why I'm looking towards these general areas, okay? Now, it's already come down enough. There was no way I was ever going to be buying my NIO at $40, $50, $60 a share. Right now, it's hovering around 30. Still, I wouldn't be opposed to some DCA at this price. It's down over 50% from the highs. We've seen what can happen off good news with this company. I don't despise buying at this price. I still, like me, would be willing to wait a little while, see if it does come down towards the low 20s. There is still about a 26% drop all the way down to the $22 range, which is where this gap was created, okay, which I think is the most important gap in this entire chart, personally. If it was to get down there, I would very heavily consider adding to my current position. And you can see that from where we are right now, it's 122% to get back to pretty much our all-time high. So there's a long way to go to get back to where they were. But I do believe that, you know, a shift in market sentiment, that can happen very quickly. But do just remember the clip I showed you guys at the start. Like, this is important to understand. Again, I'm not trying to spread fear, blah. There's way more than enough that in the markets right now, but be informed, okay? That is my update on NIO as of right now. Constant good news coming out. I may well make another video relatively soon about, you know, some more of the positive catalysts that are to come, etc., etc. The last quarterly report didn't exactly fill people with confidence. Let's put it that way. We can see earnings came out and it's been steadily coming down since. We'll see what happens at the next one. I think that's the next important thing to wait for. But if you guys watch this video all the way till the end, you, my friend, are a true legend, and I really do appreciate you being here from the bottom of my heart. Your support means the world to me. The support on the video since we come back has been awesome. I do hope you enjoyed. Hope you took some value. Hope, you know, it maybe I answered the question you have in regards to NIO. If you did enjoy, could I please ask you, hit that like button, drop me that comment down below, subscribe if you're new around here. I will see you in another video very soon. I hope you have a beautiful, blessed day. How many more things am I going to say? Peace.